Welcome back, guys. Today we've got a little something different, a little spicy and a little harder, but today is just basic strength and activation that requires all of our different stabilizers to wake up. So whether you want to do this in the morning or at night, it's a great body weight one that requires zero equipment and you can do from wherever. But this is designed to help with functioning of different body segments, including the shoulder, functional core that protects the lower back, hip stabilizers that protect the lower back and the hips, and then really important ankle stabilizers and knee stabilizers that can protect those from injuries if you do sports or activities, or even you just walk around during the day and you're prone to injury. At 6 weeks of doing this, it should start to get a little easier and we'll notice those improvements. As we've talked about in previous videos as well, if we want maximum improvements, 3 to 4 sessions a week is minimum. If you're doing 1 session a week, we're getting the most minute amount of improvement. So as many as possible, follow along, let's get into it. And just quickly, I want to give a shout out to Jennifer B8707. She did the hip impingement video. She noticed that she got improvements and that she was able to get back into what she enjoyed doing again. Right guys, so let's get into it. So first of all, we are on our backs, alternating arm and leg lowering to function, to try and fire that transverse abdominis. We're going down, holding for 5 seconds, slowly coming up. As we go down, locking that rib cage down, locking that lower back into the ground, making sure it doesn't lift. The further down we go, the harder it becomes. So just make sure if you're starting to lift in the lower back, you might need to just only come halfway down. Keep everything locked down. Make sure that core switched on. Don't restrict the breathing. Keep things nice and smooth. Opposite arm to opposite leg. And a great one to do first thing in the morning if you're someone with back pain, as this one really helps to protect that lower back. All right, guys, so as we get closer to that 1 minute, we're gonna finish on the other side here, guys, just over that minute mark. And good, slowly coming out from there. All right, guys, so we call these ones bear crawls. Pretty simple to tell you why they are called bear crawls, because we're in a bear crawl position. Now, we are going to go opposite arm to opposite foot, 2, 3 forward, opposite arm to opposite foot back. Now, what we're trying to do here is keep the hips as level as possible, keep the knees as close to the mat as possible. Now, we are going to go opposite arm to opposite foot, 2, 3 forward, opposite arm to opposite foot back. Now, what we're trying to do here is keep the hips as level as possible, keep the knees as close to the mat as possible, and stabilize everything. So you're gonna feel there's gonna be hip stabilizers firing, a lot of your core is going to be firing if you're really doing a good job at keeping those hips level. Keep it soft with the way you step. As you go back, it might be a little harder through the shoulders as well, but really focus on not letting those hips sway. I often, with my patients, I'll put a little beanbag on their lower back, and if they lose the beanbag, guess what? They're doing the whole exercise again. So maybe you can do that for yourself. Be honest and push yourself a little bit more. All right, so we're gonna finish forward here, guys. Slowly knees on the ground, and coming out from there, we should feel that one hit a lot of the core, some of the quads, and of course the shoulder stabilizers in the front here. All right, guys, so down onto our side. Knees bent, hips a little bit into flexion, so the knees coming in front of our body line. From here, we're going to start by lifting the bottom hip, top hip second, slowly down. Don't rest it on the ground because you're straight back up. 40 seconds of doing this, guys. And this one here is designed to wake up the hip stabilizer. 40 seconds of doing this, guys. And this one here is designed to wake up the hip stabilizers. So it's a little muscle that sits in the side of the bum. If you're doing this now and you're finding this quite easy, You can challenge yourself by putting a mini band just above the knees, and that makes this a lot harder. But these generally will get pretty tricky after that 40 seconds. So last one here, guys, we're gonna hold up for a little longer in this last one. I know I said 40 seconds, but I'm a liar. We're gonna push a little harder. So let's lift, 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 counting in. 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly down from there. We're gonna change sides. All right, guys, I didn't tell you about that hold, did I? But we are here to get improvements today, and we don't get it if we're not pushing ourselves. All right, so same thing again. Lift the bottom hip first, top hip second, slowly down. Don't let them rest on the ground because you're straight back up. So 45 seconds here. Just make sure when we are lifting these hips, they stay nice and square to the way we're facing, the wall we're facing. Good, so try and get that bottom hip as high in the air as possible. We're getting close here, guys. And this is the hold, that cheeky little hold. So on this hold, we're gonna try and go higher, lift a little bit higher through this bottom hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, slowly down from there. Good work, guys. If you are someone that hasn't done this exercise, you should go start with your feet a little wider here. Now what we're doing here, stabilizing through the shoulders, slowly tapping one shoulder, slowly tapping the other. Now if that's pretty easy, walk those feet pretty close together, and it's going to introduce a lot more. Walk those feet pretty close together, and it's going to introduce a lot more through the core and through the arms. So keep the elbows locked into full extension. Try not to sway those hips too much. You might need to spread the feet just a little bit more if you are. You're going to find the core, shoulder stabilizers should be absolutely firing. If you have had previous shoulder injuries, you might want to consider doing this from a kneeling position. And here we go, guys, counting in for the last rep here, and then slowly down from there. What we're gonna do here, try and tuck the pelvis under, lock that tailbone under, activate the big glute muscle in the tailbone, lift one leg, and then from here, slowly drop as we lift the other. So we're doing little glute marches here. What we wanna focus on is the other. So we're doing little glute marches here. What we want to focus on is as we go down, it's only the heel touching the ground. The toe should be in the air, and each time we step, we don't want to lose this tailbone being tucked under. You don't want any extension or arching of the lower back. You want to flatten that lower back curve by pulling the tailbone down. So we're doing this for a minute, and same thing, if you had a big ruler across here, that ruler should not be rotating or swaying at all. So the hip should be nice and flat. We're going to count down. Let's go last couple here, finishing on this left side. And then both heels into the ground to come down a little better. Now from here, we are going down into what we call a Bulgarian position. And you may have seen this in previous videos, but what we're going to do here is go pressure into the toes, pressure into the heel. So 40 seconds here, and this is going to be numbered in previous videos, but what we're going to do here is go pressure into the toes, pressure into the heel. So 40 seconds here, and this is going to be number 1, firing the glutes because we're in that Bulgarian position, but number 2, firing all those tiny little ankle stabilizers. That often we wake up, we don't really use them, we go into our sports or whatever activities we're doing, and the things can be half asleep. So here we go, guys. We're going to change sides after this last effort on the toes, and then slowly down from there, slowly coming up, switching the feet around, making sure we don't lose that T-tail on the chair. And going right foot forward, or whatever foot you didn't have forward last time, slowly dropping down, and then same thing again. Pressure into the toes, trying to lift the toes in the air. So 40 seconds here, and you should feel, you might have a weaker side here as well, guys, so try and feel what your weaker side is. And this is a side that we actually need to work a little harder. And slowly coming out from there, guys. Okay guys, so the very last exercise for today's strength session, we've hit the front of the shoulders, but we want to hit the stabilizers in the back now. Forehead into the ground, but because you can't hear when with the mic being blocked here, I'm going to lift my head today. But reaching out in front of you as far as possible, tracing those elbows down into the ribs, rotating the arms around, so the hands go into the pockets, coming back, keeping those elbows locked into the ribs, and then reaching out there. Reaching out in front of you as far as possible, tracing those elbows down into the ribs, rotating the arms around, so the hands go into the pockets, coming back, keeping those elbows locked into the ribs, and then reaching out there. Now, a big thing to focus on here is as we bring the elbows into the ribs, as our wrists come around, we want this height to be, the wrist to be the same height, or if not above the elbows. So we're doing this for 1 minute, guys. We're going to finish just with 1 rep after this. And finishing up the top here, guys, coming out from there. All right, guys, so that is it for today. If you are a little bit out of breath, you're a little bit sweaty, that is a goal for today. Hopefully your stabilizers are firing, and if you're going to do whatever sport you're in right now, try and note if you actually feel better. So this will often be a very good activation routine for the athletes we have watching these videos. As always, I'm going to finish with a great quote for this week, guys. So the quote is, "Growth lives past your comfort zone." Hats off to you guys if you finish this today. We'll see you again next Monday at 7 a.m.